And we are joined now by John Tavares of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And John, the last time we saw you on the ice was right before the World Championships. You pulled out of that event with an oblique injury. How are you feeling right now, and did it change your off-season routine at all?
Well, anytime you have some type of injury, definitely changes things up. But sometimes when you go through a process like that, it allows you to actually have a lot of growth in many areas, different things that you're working on, and kind of change your approach a little bit. But overall, I've had a really good summer, and really looking forward to training camp next month and getting back at it.
Well, last year in coming to Toronto, you said that winning a Stanley Cup with the Leafs was a motivating factor. What did the Leafs learn from another first-round loss to Boston?
I think just how hard it is, and just really how close you really are as well. I think it kind of goes both ways, and just really just how hard it is to put a team away, just even in the first round. And trying to do that 4 times, beat 4 different teams in a 7-game series, just how difficult that journey is. And it really can come down to just a handful of plays. So I felt we were really in control most of the series, and we had 2 great opportunities to move on, and we didn't capitalize. And I think mostly you can't let these opportunities slip. You got to make the most of them.
Well, it's a different team from last year. You've lost several veterans, including Nazem Kadri, Patrick Marleau, and Ron Hainsey. So how does that change the leadership structure on the team?
Well, I think certainly with the talent and youth we have, and the impact that our young core makes, I think there's no question there'll be big steps from them. I think not just on the ice and the impact they make, but I think certainly in all areas of our team, and especially in the locker room, and bringing this group together and continuing to learn from one another, grow together, and all the new guys that we got on board to really make them feel a part of the group right away, get that continuity going, and continue to kind of evolve and mature as we move forward as a team.
Well, speaking of that young core and the changes that you just mentioned, the Leafs haven't had a captain for the last 3 seasons. Do they need to address that?
Well, I think management, I think Shanny, Doobie, Babs all have a really good feel for our group, and obviously are there on a daily basis. And I think we'll really, really have a good idea when the time is right. I think certainly we got plenty of guys that can fill that role and do a great job at it. I think that's a real special thing to have, is when you got so many quality people and quality players that can really fill that role and really embrace that opportunity. And obviously there's special significance to it. So when the time's right, I know that they'll address it and do that if it's necessary.
Is it something that maybe the fans and the media might be more concerned with than the players?
Yeah, I don't think we worry about it a whole lot. I mean, I think we just go to the rink every day and try to enjoy being around each other. I think you rely on each other, even the guys that have been around and have a lot of experience, and guys look to them. But I know speaking from my own experience when I was a captain, you rely on so many of the players around you for their advice and their guidance and leadership when you're kind of the voice of the team, and a lot of media and fans kind of look to you for what's going on a daily basis. So I think it's just a very special and significant role, especially being with the Maple Leafs and the history of it. And there hasn't been one here for a little while. So certainly there can be, a lot made about it. But when we have so many good quality people and players in our locker room, we know it's not going to change, I think, the way we go about our daily business or how we focus for the season and how we prepare. So we just kind of be together, work together, try to help each other, and like I said, when management feels it's right, they'll make that happen.
You're going into the season without the services of Zach Hyman and Travis Dermot, who both had surgery in the offseason, and Mitch Marner still unsigned. Does that change the approach at all, or maybe add some urgency for your other teammates to make sure that they get off to a good start?
Well, certainly, two key players for us with significant injuries. So, there's going to be 2 early opportunities possibly for guys for more ice time or to make the team. And I think certainly with the way our kind of team's built, and certainly with the core of the group, there'll always be great opportunities for either players in the system or guys that we signed in certain roles to really kind of establish themselves and come in and really earn those opportunities. And for guys that are really kind of part of the core group, you want to kind of go out there and continue to push one another and push yourself to continue to be in the role that you're in. So, there's always competition, and there's always a great competitiveness going into training camp and as the team kind of comes together. So, but certainly there's some opportunities that may not normally be there with the circumstances are with our team right now. So certainly should be exciting to be part of this group in September, and us kind of getting off on the right foot, and obviously wanting to have a great start to the season. So a lot of opportunity for a lot of guys.
And for you personally, you might be without two wingers when the season starts. Are you calling Mitch constantly for updates?
No, I think Mitch knows that I'm there for him whenever he needs it. But certainly, I think you want to respect his situation and his process and the way they're going about it. There's a lots of restricted free agents unsigned still. A lot of guys in a similar position as him. So there's still some time here, and I think we all believe the right thing will happen, and something will get worked out. I think that's what both sides obviously want. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than others, and Mitch is obviously an important player for our team, and just the type of guy he is as well. We really count on him. So obviously we want to get him there for day one of camp and get moving forward and continue to kind of build this thing and work towards the ultimate goal.
Now, you signed early when you were restricted. Your free agency was not a long, drawn-out process. Does it just simply come down to a difference in approach or philosophies?
Yeah, when I came off my entry level, I think there were discussions, and I was very happy in my situation. I really enjoyed being on Long Island and kind of the growth of my game and where I was at. And we were talking for a little bit, and then things kind of slowed down, and then I think I just felt that's where I wanted to be, and was very fortunate to get the contract offer that they presented to me, and just wanted to try to build something there and continue my growth as I was only into my second season. So and just having that stability, I felt I could just focus on playing and continue to establish myself and continue to try to become a better player. So, but everyone's situation and set of circumstances are different. There's a lot that's changed, I think, in the marketplace and where the game's at now, and the business side of it from when I signed then to now. So, like I said, I think both sides want the same thing, and I really truly believe they'll get there here sooner rather than later.
Well, speaking of the business side, you're an alternate player rep with the Maple Leafs. The players vote on whether to opt out of the CBA in just over a month. Does continued labor peace trump any player concerns over escrow or Olympic involvement? Or is there another way to get these issues on the table without invoking the opt-out?
Yeah, I think all those issues are important to us. Obviously, a lot of things that maybe that we're not completely happy with, but certainly I think the growth of the game and continuing kind of the momentum that we have going is very important as well. So I think obviously we want to try to work with the league to find a solution that doesn't cost us any time, as certainly what I experienced back a few years ago was very disappointing, and not something we want to go through again. But certainly there's things that we feel very strongly about and are very important to us. And I think it's been like I said, very good momentum. I think there definitely is an opportunity to get something done and continue this and not have to have a work stoppage.
And finally, you were on the ice for a very special game Sunday, the NHL versus Docs for Neo Kids in Sudbury. Tell us about that event.
Yeah, the Felinos kind of reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to be part of this event and if I could come and help out. And it was really a no-brainer for me, especially I think what it's all about and helping children up in Northern Ontario and having the opportunities and the resources that are needed and raising funds for that. And for me, I have a strong connection here in Sudbury. My mom was born and raised here, and I spent many summers up here coming and visiting a lot of families. So still try to come up here for a couple days every summer. So it worked out really well that I could be here to do that and help out with this event. So great to be back in a place I spent a lot of time in as a kid and try to help out the community.
Well, fantastic event indeed. John Tavares, thank you.
Thank you.